Welcome to Immediate Review. So, this is our fourth double feature for October.
And we decided we're going to go with a stop-motion animation Halloween musical double feature. First up is one that a fan of ours actually bought and sent us to watch months ago, and I promised we'd review it in October. Mad Monster Party. It is by Rankin and Bass, who did all of those, the classic animated Christmas musicals that everyone watches every year, Frosty and all that shit.
Check out our Lord of the Rings review.
Or Hobbit, they did that. But watch the Lord of the Rings one. And so, we're going to start with that and then end with a classic that all three of us have seen. Person is with us, Nightmare Before Christmas. So,
Let's get to it.
Well, I can safely say that's the best Rankin and Bass movie I've ever seen. Because I hate their version of The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings, and I hate all of those Christmas specials. And, I thought this movie was pretty bad, honestly, but I kind of, dug it in a so bad it's good way. I was laughing at it a lot and getting quite a bit of enjoyment about how fucking ridiculous it is.
Yeah, it's definitely it's super ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
I mean, I started off just completely checked out, and then it starts getting back into it with a little bit of plot, and you're like, okay, this is getting kind of interesting, and then it just fucking 180s on you, and you're just like, oh, and it's just obnoxious. So
So we should explain the premise real quick for people who aren't aware of this, because I had never ever heard of this movie. All three of us hadn't, personally.
Yeah, I'd never heard of it.
So it's basically Dr. Frankenstein is getting all of the Universal monsters and then some together. I mean, you've got Frankenstein, Dracula, Wolfman, Mummy, Invisible Man, Dr. Jekyll and Hyde, who else? The Creature, a rip-off version of the Creature from the Black Lagoon that looks like Gex, and Phyllis Diller.
As the bride of Frankenstein.
And I don't know, a couple others, but anyways, they all go to the mansion to have a mad monster party.
Party?
And then a plot ensues about inheritance, and they try to kill the nephew of Frankenstein. Person A, what'd you think of this?
Yeah, at first, I was just trying to focus on, the stop motion animation piece of it, because the story and the songs were not very good.
Oh, I liked the opening credits song a lot, and then Phyllis Diller sang, and
it was ooh,
so bad. And then we get a couple smoky jazz tunes later that are okay.
The songs are not memorable at all.
But
they're totally forgettable.
But compared to the greatest adventure is what lies Rankin and Bass has horrible music, and this is honestly some of the best of their stuff.
The title card music that kind of leads in is this kind of like you said, kind of smoky, smooth jazz with this very just kind of vibrant female singer, and it's honestly kind of James Bondy to me, and
there are a couple things where it's and
just I don't know, it felt cool, the music was good, but some of the mostly just when Phyllis Diller was on the screen, I just couldn't stand it at all. Some of the stuff I did like, though.
The moment I saw her name, but...
Yeah, no, but then, it's... The more it goes, the more you're what? The choices that they made and some of the things that they did, and they're definitely inspired people later on in weird, coincidental ways. Where you're they have the va-va-voom secretary who, spoiler alert, turns out to be an android. No wonder she was Dr. Frankenstein's sex robot. But But she's got like a Jessica Rabbit thing about her, and she's just so like ridiculous, over the top.
She's got huge tracts of land.
And everyone's in love with her. But she
especially Peter Lorre. That's the one we forgot about.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
There's like a Peter
And
Lorre
the Mad
ghoul.
Mafia chef guy who's totally hilarious and like the stereotypical Italian. Like
You don't like my salad. You like.
How do you like the octopussy soup?
Yeah. But that's just it was fun.
It was in ways. It
wasn't boring.
those Christmas movies, like adults always push those on me as a kid, and I never liked their animated Christmas movies. If adults pushed this on me, then I probably would have dug it. I don't think I'd love it as a kid, but I would have had a better time than during Frosty the Snowman or whatever the fuck.
I mean, yeah, because like.
Just because of the horror aesthetic. As a kid, I would have been like, I love Scooby-Doo and like Goosebumps and shit. So I would have been more tolerable of it. Because...
Yeah, and I honestly, at least at the moment, off the top of my head, I can't really remember a whole lot of like animated kind of Halloween-based stuff besides like, like Charlie Brown Halloween specials and stuff like that. So it's like... I could see where this would have like a niche fan base because it's like we don't really get anything else. And I mean, the popular Halloween movies at this point didn't even come out for another couple years. Like at least the like horror genre wasn't really very big in '67. I think this came out.
Yeah, I've. I can't think of many. Like Scooby-Doo is the only other thing I can think of.
And even that was like not necessarily horror, or I mean, it was more Halloween based than anything else.
Yeah, it's a spooky little show.
Like
haunted castles and
stuff.
But
it's mostly like an adventure comedy more than like horror Halloween. But
this totally didn't catch on as much as the Christmas ones because. Those movies are so bland, and this one, it's pretty dirty, honestly, for a lot of it. There's so many, like, sex innuendos.
Oh my God, so
and, like,
many.
there was one part when the
Nobody makes
Francesca,
eye contact with Francesca.
Yeah, they all straight up, they animate just like, looking at her boobs. And, but there's a scene where Francesca is, like, freaking out. At the Jimmy Stewart guy. Oh, I'm visiting my uncle. Oh. And
Felix.
Yeah, Felix.
Flankin.
And
Flankenstein.
She's like, I hate you. And then he's like, oh, I'm sorry to do this.
And then she's like,
ooh,
oh, I love you. And then he like does it again, and it's like fireworks go off, and a tree breaks.
And they fall in love.
They fall in love. She sings a song about how much she's suddenly in love with him because he hit her out of nowhere, and she's previously been plotting to kill him before this. And
robots like it rough. I mean,
I guess maybe he reset something. He like knocked around some bolts and buttons and turned on her love setting. I don't know.
But and spoiler alert, he's a fucking robot too. So they're gonna be fucking robots.
Maybe that's like the indication.
He started going like and like malfunctioning and
Yeah, he's a robot. So yeah, this movie also.
She's a robot that can go in water.
So this movie also has some questionable stuff happen in it in terms of like, it seems like it's very much for kids, but like there's a cat fight between they strip her down into her like knickers basically.
A little Janet Nighty.
Yeah, and like there's a scene where the cook like sticks his finger into like this like little guy's ass. And, like,
he's like, oh, sorry.
About that, like it's fucking just like what, like Rankin and Bass, what is going on, guys? Like
that guy was so funny, man. He really was one of the best characters, and he only had one scene.
I wanted him to die.
No, not him. The chef, the chef.
Yes,
I cooked the octopus.
I thought you were talking about rapey McPeter Lorre.
Yeah.
Yeah. Overall, I'd just say I probably like won't watch this movie
Yeah.
again. I'm kind of in that boat of just like I kind of just cringed through it.
That's
but,
something like
you know,
in
it
like
was,
3 or 4 years.
Yeah,
I'll pop
like,
on and show
you know,
someone.
yeah.
Be like, this is a thing.
But this isn't gonna be a yearly tradition. For
Yeah,
me.
no, not at all. But okay, yeah. Go
I
ahead.
would like a remake of this though. Like
Yeah.
a true adult horror remake, and Christina Hendricks has to play Francesca.
Yes! Oh my god, yes.
And
Yeah.
all right, so sorry we didn't have an outro, but Mad Monster Party is in the past, and we just watched the masterpiece known as The Nightmare Before Christmas. Holy fuck, this movie is exquisite. Like,
Yeah, dude, it's perfect. The only negative is that it's not long enough.
It's not longer.
I want to spend more time in it. It's just every song is a fucking masterpiece. Every frame is fucking just perfect. Like it's just there's like nothing it's just so good. It's
Every
so
song
incredible,
is
man.
memorable.
every single one, yeah. Yeah. I mean, God, what is there to say original about this movie? I don't know. For me, I've seen this movie a million billion times.
Million, billion, 100 million every year of my life, multiple times a year.
Person A, you didn't get into it until later in life, right? But
Yeah. For the most part.
still a big fan though, and
Yes.
yeah, I wore out my VHS tape, and I don't know. The big thing I noticed this time around is just like, the lighting is really what sells everything. They light all these little tiny miniatures like they're big fucking rooms. It's so impressive. Like, it's astounding the scale they give all of these models. And it's just like you never really feel like you're I don't know. It's just every the cinematography is fucking excellent. And
yeah, just the smoothness and like consistency of the motions,
the camera
of
pans
everything.
and the push-ins and like
I mean the fucking the scene with like when Jack confronts Boogie where all the blades are flying everywhere and it's jumping up and down and there are lights in the background. It's like there's so much to fucking keep track of every single frame, and it's like they fucking killed it. They killed it. It's like it's a goddamn masterpiece.
It's my favorite stop motion movie ever.
Oh yeah, like the best stop motion movie ever made.
Yeah.
Like I was gonna say like if we should have if we were gonna have an argument about that, but like for me, 100% the best stop motion movie ever. Like 100%. There's nothing that compares. It's just like
you think you got anything that might be better than this?
Not in terms of like the particular style used here.
I mean, maybe story, because like it's not strong on story. I mean, it's based on like a little children's book, and they just kind of tell it with songs and visuals, and it's almost just.
It's definitely the best stop motion musical out there.
Oh, without a doubt.
That's for damn sure.
for sure.
Yeah, it's the music really is. It's probably my second favorite musical, like with Rocky Horror Picture Show is number one, like this one.
It's up there for sure. It's like, yeah, I would love to see this on stage, honestly, with like just a killer cast, like Broadway cast, doing something like this would just be awesome. And it's short, so they can do like tons of shows a day. Like, come on, you can make a lot of money doing that.
Peter made a good point because it's only 75 minutes. Like one thing they could have added that would have been nice is going to Easterland, and maybe a couple of the other places with the kids.
Yeah, and seeing them kidnap the leaders of because they kind of just show up with the bunny, and it's like I understand it because that would have been a whole other stage.
It took
that they
them
would have
years
had
to make this movie,
and like another 20 minutes would have been another year. It's like it's understandable, but it's like it doesn't stop me from just wanting more. Just because it's so good, it's like
I really am blown away by the camera because to two of the other best stop motion movies I can think of are like Wes Anderson's Fantastic Mr. Fox and
Isle of Dogs.
Isle of Dogs.
Isle of Dogs, but most of the shots are pretty static, or they're pans. He does a lot of pans
but
and
that,
stuff.
that's Wes Anderson's style.
It's
though,
true. I'm not
so
saying it's like a flaw to the
yeah,
movie.
yeah, yeah.
I'm just saying in comparison, when you just see these like
Sweeping like Scorsese movements in this like stop motion thing is like, whoa, like this is cool.
Yeah, Kubo and the Two Strings is another one that has a lot of dynamic shots, but I don't recall like, you know, the 360 cameras that they do, and some of the, like the angular push-ins, and yeah,
And, like the shots with like the like I think it's the sun setting in the background and like them in the foreground like singing and whatnot, and they're
Yeah.
lit perfectly and like silhouette. It's just like it's fucking masterful. It's nothing compares, man.
It's a truly magical film. Person A, what you got?
You guys have covered quite a bit of it. It's just, it's so imaginative and well done. And just the thing that's still just how hard it is to write a musical with this many fucking songs and not have a dud in any of them. Even Sally's song is still memorable, even though that's probably the weakest of all the songs. It's still memorable. You can find yourself humming it.
I think the weakest song is Jack's reprise when he's like you know, on the gravestone and stuff. After he gets blown up, the Jack's reprise he has. I think that's the weakest song. But it's got some of the strongest camera movements the whole time it's spinning, and his clothes are frayed, and like the gravity of it is perfect with his motions.
Mm-hmm.
And so even when the song's kind of a dud, it's still just absolutely masterful.
Sorry.
But yeah, go on, person. Sorry.
Yeah, that's pretty much like that's really hard to do. Like to have like I can't think of anything else other than Rocky, and even then with Rocky, you know, they had to cut songs out before they put it in, before they made the movie, because there was a dud or two.
No, most of the time musicals like half of them are really iconic, and the other half are kind of like, oh yeah, those songs too. And there are some movies where it's just all songs kind of fucking suck.
And you're,
Or
waiting
movies
for
like The Lion King where all the songs are iconic, but there's only like 4 like that they sing. There really aren't a lot.
But this is like it's primarily the storytelling, and the plot moving along happens through song.
Yeah, and there are like 10 excellent ones.
Well, and then even like the score is reprises of the songs, or like the little backgrounds of the songs that are sung. Like, so yeah, like you could pretty much hum the whole fucking movie. It's awesome.
What's everyone's favorite song?
This is Halloween.
This is Halloween.
It's fucking. It's just like, man, you saw me when it was like, everybody hail to the pumpkin song. Like I'm just like fucking rocking out, dude. It's so good, man. It's so good. But yeah, there's songs that like are funny. There's songs that are fucking epic like that. There's songs that like make me sad. You know, it's like it's got everything, man.
It's a tie between probably This Is Halloween, the first song that Jack sings. I can't remember what it's called. And What's This? Probably those 3.
Yeah, What's This is a good one.
They're all just so good though. Fuck. Well, up next is the motherfucking horror marathon next Saturday on Halloween. That'll drop. And we are also going to do a special review of our 35mm print of Friday the 13th, 2009, not the original. But we did that video. Go back and watch that, where we saw someone else's film print of that. Yeah, thanks for joining us.
Peace out, guys.